Hey guys, my name is Alakan Jazuli and I will doing a live Instagram section with my friend Chian from Malaysia, and hope you guys enjoy the live, and we are going to talking about the after impact from our program, and it's gonna be interesting. So guys, hope you enjoy it. I will invite him. Still connecting. Hey, hi, here he is.
Hey, man.
Hey, what's up? How are you
I
doing?
can't see myself on my video. Can you see me?
How are you doing?
Are you able to see me?
Yeah.
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. This is so strange because I can't see myself, and this is very scary because all I'm getting is a black screen, and that's a bit
Are you? By the way,
interesting. Hang on.
are you able to see me or hearing
Yeah,
my?
I'm able to see you.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
So you can see me, right? You can see
Yeah.
me, right? Okay, I'll take your word for it. Let's. Okay, let's start. Let's begin.
Let's
Hi.
listen. I just wanted to kickstart from the introduction. So guys, hi guys. My name is Alakan Jazuli, and I'm the alumni from KLS program 1920, and I was host in Indianapolis, Indiana, United States of America, and now currently I'm writing a book about self-improvement and self-healing and self-care. And the turn is yours now.
I'm Sean. I'm a yes returnee from Malaysia, and I was hosted in North Carolina in 2018. Um, Currently, I'm just about to go into university to study civil engineering, but on the side, I'm also a freelance videographer and photographer. So here we are.
Nice, nice. So we're going to talk about the after impact, I think, yes, Sean. It's kind of not
Yeah,
informal. So guys, if you have
yeah.
any question, if you guys have any question, just type it down. Let's talk about what do you think about your exchange experience?
Well, I think the exchange experience was very eye-opening for me. It was the first time I had left. Let's put it this way: it's the first time I left the Malay Peninsula because prior to that I had been to Singapore, but I'd never been to East Malaysia. I'd never been to Indonesia. I'd never been to Thailand, all that. So leaving the time zone, that was the first time I left the time zone. So it was really cool
Yeah, I
for me.
know. Very cool.
Um, yeah, and it was also my first time experiencing school elsewhere. And I found it very eye opening, as I said, because of the number of cultures, the experience of school in another country, how they approach education. I found that very interesting, as well as learning to become independent for
For
where
yourself.
you have to live, where I had to live by myself. Yeah, exactly. So living with a host family, knowing that I had to be responsible, knowing that I had to live with a double placement, another exchange student who also was going through the same thing that I was going through. I thought that was very inspiring, but it was also a challenge, and I think it was a very fulfilling challenge because after all this, I'm able to look back and I'm able to say that I've learned a lot, I've experienced new things, and I'm able to see the world in a different way now that I'm back in Malaysia.
So with me, I was exchange student was incredibly self, self independent to me, and it's kind of the learning way, more like I can be independent. It's me, you know what I mean? It's me, and yeah, I was travel a lot to Malaysia like several times, and I think, but it is when people think about America, what do you think of when people think of when we say about America, I think most people will be thinking about Washington D.C., New York, or uh, Liberty Statue, but they are not looking like the cornfield or etc. So it's kind of like beyond my expectation before.
Yeah, I think it's exactly the same. Like you said, I think people always, well, America is highlighted in the media
Yeah,
in a way that portrays the large cities, that portrays vibrant high school activity. Let's put it that way. It portrays maybe some tourist attractions like the Grand Canyon or Statue of Liberty,
Grand
like you said,
Canyon.
Hawaii maybe, and you only Alaska. You have like these kind of preconceived ideas about America, but then, like you said, once you're there, you start to realize how big America is and how
Yeah, wait.
diverse America is. Yeah, I was incredibly surprised because it was when I found out that Peninsula Malaysia is really, really small because
Yeah, yeah, I know.
Peninsula Malaysia is smaller than the state of North Carolina that I've been to. And I can drive from, I live in Penang, so the north of Peninsula Malaysia, and I could drive down to Singapore in like one day. But it'll take me the whole day to drive from like,
Yeah,
from the west side to the east side
right.
of North Carolina. So from like Charlotte to the Outer Banks. And that just blew my mind how big the world is.
No.
So yeah, there we go.
From the airplane, like, hey, we are in on the air about more than 10 hours. It's kind of feel scare me though.
Yeah. The world is very big once you realize it. Being able, like, having to fly all the way. I had a friend, a batchmate who was hosted in Hawaii, and I remember that he had to. It's actually closer to fly towards the east to Hawaii, right? Like, if you're in Malaysia or Indonesia, you fly towards the east, towards Japan, and then to Hawaii. It's closer than flying the other way. But because we had our orientation in New York, he had to fly to Amsterdam, to New
Yeah.
York, to San Francisco, and then fly to Hawaii, and then make the same return journey back. So I think if you're hosted on the West Coast, you would see the entire world on the way, and the world is huge. There's so much out there to see. And I think being on this program has given me, and I think it's given you as well, the enthusiasm, the drive to be able to go out and see more and learn more about the world.
Uh, so, what is the best way of immersion that you can approach yourself so you can learn about the culture that you didn't know before?
Oh, I think when it comes to immersion, you have to take that brave step forward. The first step where you go out and try to make friends, where you try to connect with people. There's no way to be immersed in the culture if you're lying in your bed or staying in the same house, reluctant to go out. You have to be open to speaking to different people. And I think it's great because when you go there as an exchange student, people are, at least they're prepared. Like when you ask them questions, people are ready to answer. People know that it's expected of you that you would ask these kind of questions. So I think being on a program like this, immersion is it's
Immersion is good, yeah.
it's great because it's great because you go there and people expect that you go there and learn, and so they are a bit more open to talking to you. Whereas if you're not if you go there as an immigrant, if you go there as say a university student, it might be harder because people are more focused on themselves, on their niches, what they're studying, and as in high school, I think people are also more open as well. So I think you still have to take that first step. For many students, English is a challenge. It might be a bit unnatural at first to speak English, but I think as you go on and as you open yourself up to speaking with other people, getting used to the language, with the support of the host family, with support of a local coordinator,
Yeah.
you're going to be able to improve. And when you come back, you'll have that
Significant.
satisfaction of knowing, yeah, you're also braver, you're better in your communication skills, and you have the confidence after that to continue immersing yourself in in any culture, no matter where it is. So I think that's what's great about the exchange program. It's one of the first for many students, one of their first opportunities of exploring traversing cultural boundaries, and so that first experience is crucial in being able to
It's very
open
fun.
yourself up to newer opportunities in the future.
So the most important thing is just for emphasizing your point. So guys, if you wanted to learn something, you have to give a shot. Don't like don't don't give up about something and don't wait that opportunity came into you. You have to approach it, right?
Definitely.
Yeah. So what is the most embarrassing thing that you ever done? The most embarrassing thing. The most embarrassing
Oh
thing.
boy,
Let's try
what
to be open
is
here.
that? Okay, I had like this very embarrassing moment, but I don't think it had to do with anything cultural. I don't think it had to do with me being exchange student or anything. But it was so weird because I was at where was I? I can't remember. I was at this Mexican restaurant with a friend,
Oh, Mexico.
and it was
Yeah.
very strange because I was hanging out with I was actually hanging out with a Malaysian schoolmate who I grew up with, and we were at this restaurant, and obviously he drove all the way from Georgia up to North Carolina to find me. So that was like a 4 hour drive. So obviously I didn't know when the next time it would be that I see him again. That I saw him again. So I asked the waitress to take a photo of us. I passed her my camera and I was like, hey, can you take a photo of us? And she was like, no. And I'm like, wait, what? I've never had that response before. So that was really strange. And and
That's
so I
funny.
asked my friend, like, is this what happens in America? And he's like, no, this is just like a one-off. I've literally never heard anyone reject the opportunity to take a photo. Like when someone asks, it's like, no, thank you. And I was like super confused. But yeah, again, I don't think it's anything cultural, but it was just a bit awkward at that point.
Okay. If me personally, that the most embarrassing thing that I have ever done before, in America, that the first time in the airport that when I first time met my host family member, and when we like toward to the car, and I just going to the front side, like left side. You see what I mean? You see what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah. I see what you mean.
Oh my god! And kind of suddenly my host that's asking me like, "Are you going to drive?" Oh, not. It's kind of in Indonesia. You see what?
Yeah, I also had like this embarrassing experience at the airport. I was in New York before I was going to North Carolina and before the transit, and I was looking for water and I couldn't find the water dispenser. So I heard people say that like in America, like you can just drink the tap water. I didn't know how true that was, but I couldn't find water. So I went straight to the toilet and I took tap water. And the guy beside me looked at me and was like, what are you doing? And then he's like, he brought me out. He brought me out and right outside like behind the corner from like the where the toilets were, there was a water dispenser right there. So I was over there drinking toilet water without knowing that there was a water dispenser
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
So yeah, that was
yeah.
pretty embarrassing as well.
I've noticed too. It's in America, like kind of all the water is drink water. I mean, it's cool water. It's nothing like the normal one, like in in Indonesia or in Malaysia, right?
Uh,
So let's talk about the snow.
the snow,
The snow. If the snow,
the snow, yeah. It was my first experience seeing and experiencing snow. Obviously, haven't left Malaysia. If Malaysia snowed, I think that would be a pretty bad thing. Um, so yeah, okay. I have developed a very okay, the first time I saw snow was when I was in New York, and it was at our orientation before we split off and visited our states. And we were doing our orientation, and all of a sudden what do you call it? The snow started coming down, and there were like 40 of us Malaysian students who were like, "It's snow." We've never seen snow before. Everyone was screaming and all, and then and so we were allowed to go out. Like the facilitators were like, "Hey, why don't you go out and experience the snow?" And it was super exciting, and yeah.
hang on. Sorry for cutting you. Do you feel like you are a tacky person when you seeing snow for the first time?
Sorry, do I feel like if I'm a what?
Do you ever feel like you are a tacky person when you are seeing a snow for the first time? I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
you,
Okay, my experience seeing snow for the first time is documented completely on YouTube. So if
oh
you watch
yeah,
the first
if you watch,
video of my vlog, yeah,
I
if you
watch.
search Sean Yu on YouTube, yeah, there are like 15,000 people who have watched that video, and that video basically sums up my snow experience. I was like a little kid. I was going crazy seeing it, and I think for me, like it was my lifelong dream. When I grew up as a kid, I was like, hey, I wanted to see snow. I want to see snow once in a while, like once in my life. And after that experience, interestingly, um, about 2 days, like when I went to North Carolina, it was the first. It was the day after it snowed, so it was like completely blanket white, right? And that's not all, that doesn't happen common in North Carolina, but like after like 2 or 3 days, I was like sick. I was like, I don't want snow anymore. And I was so
Yeah,
thankful that I was in North Carolina because it basically never snowed ever again. So yeah, it was definitely a very interesting experience. I see Thomas, my one of the
I think
exchange
it's your
students in
friend.
my house.
I think
Yeah,
it's your friend.
he remembers that definitely.
So did you go to prom? Did you go to prom?
No, I didn't actually. I didn't. I wasn't able to go to prom. So
Uh,
yeah, that's a bummer. But oh well.
hang on. I just wanted to writing down what the question I.
No problem. Yeah, no problem. How about you? Like, did you manage to go to prom?
Now, and actually, I want to go to the prom, but the due to outbreak and the preventing of
Ah, yeah,
outbreak,
yeah,
yeah,
that's
you
right.
see. So we are
You're 19,
our
20, right? Yeah,
the program cut shortened than usual.
yeah, that's
So
true.
we have to come
Yeah,
back earlier.
that's a
But
bummer because I think, oh, yeah. I wonder if
what?
anyone got to experience prom because don't different schools have prom at like different dates. I wonder if anyone was left late enough that they were able to experience it before the outbreak. I wonder. I'm not sure, but hey, don't worry too much about it. I didn't go to prom either, and I still think that the exchange program was a very fulfilling journey. So yeah,
Did you go to housecoming? What? Open house? Housecoming? I don't know. Hang on. Housecoming.
homecoming.
Homecoming.
Homecoming. I think my school's homecoming happened before I arrived to America because Malaysian students only do half a year. So we do the semester
Uh,
program starting January. So some of the events that happen before, like between, like during autumn and winter, like we miss out on, unfortunately. Yeah. So it seems like I'm not. Earlier I spoke about immersion. It seems like I haven't been doing my part immersing myself in
yeah,
all
I
these
know.
events.
Did you reach your 100 hours volunteer?
Oh yeah, yeah, I did. So that's where all my time went to. um,
It's a
I
part of
yeah,
immersion.
so
It's a part of immersion.
it's definitely a part of immersion. Yeah, I spent quite a bit of time at a local church, volunteering, helping out with everything from setting up chairs to helping out in family ministry with kids and stuff. I would say this though. I think 100 like okay, volunteering is a great way, community service is a
Yeah,
great way to get to know
it's a
people,
great.
it's a great way to make connections, yeah, and it's a great way to network. So I think every exchange student should go on this program with an open mind to volunteering and with an eagerness to help out the community wherever they're located. But with that said, as a Malaysian student going on this program, volunteering was pretty hefty because trying to reach the 100-hour goal with only one semester took a lot of commitment. So yeah, so it did take effort. It did take a lot of commitment in terms of hours a week. So on weekends I was occupied. On weekdays I was like weekdays after school. Most of them I was occupied. But I think it still was very fulfilling. And I think the most important thing is to find things that you're passionate about to volunteer. So for example, myself, like I grew up playing the piano. So when I was in America, I was able to help. I had like there was a family nearby who had a kid, and she was like a 5-year-old kid, and
Yeah.
I was able to volunteer to help teach her piano. Like
Oh,
teach
in
her,
your
she had like
neighborhood.
piano books and stuff. Yeah,
In
in
your
my
neighborhood.
neighborhood. So I was yeah, exactly. So I think if you're like you just gotta reflect. Anyone who's interested in this program, you just gotta reflect where your strengths are, where your interests are, and try to leverage that to volunteer so that the hours will pass by a lot faster. And I'm sure people will be able to see your passion at the same time. Gives you a bit more talking points when you are. If you, yeah, it gives you more talking points when you're trying to connect with people as well.
So, what were the subject that you take during your period in United States
Mm.
during your exchange service?
Yeah. So my school required us to take 4 subjects a semester. So it's split into about 1 hour 20, 1 hour 30 minute blocks. I can't remember, but English and American history were compulsory subjects for exchange
Yeah,
students
English grammar.
under my yeah. And for the other two, I chose class piano and French. And the funny thing about class piano was that I didn't know. Okay, just like class piano. There wasn't like class piano 1, 2, 3, 4. I was like, so I was like, okay, class piano, I'm interested in this. I went in, and apparently it was like a beginner class, and I had been playing for like 10 years before this. So I went there a bit overqualified, but that was fine. The teacher actually gave me the opportunity to become like a student assistant to help guide and grade the other students in the class. But and then besides that, I also had chances to perform. My piano teacher in school was also the choir director, and so we had a bunch of like a couple of concerts, large concerts, that I would play the intermissions in the concerts, and it was really fun. It was
What's
really
interesting?
exciting. It was nerve wracking because my heart was pounding so much, and I was like telling myself, "Hey, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine. Worst case scenario, you mess up. People, if you mess up, all you have to do is go back to Malaysia, and no one will remember your face. Like no one will remember you." So that
Yeah.
yeah, so that calmed me down. But yeah, so I really enjoyed class piano, and the other subject I took was French. There were a few exchange students in my I think there was this Belgian exchange student in my under my local coordinator. So we spent some time talking and all that. And I had okay. So prior to that, I had previously learned French a little bit in Malaysia. Like there's an Alliance Française in in Penang where I live, and so I went there for some beginner classes, and then I stopped because obviously there was nothing that interested me enough to take French to continue learning French. So when I went to America, I met the Belgian exchange student. And realized that hey, there's some people over here who do speak French, like where I could make use of learning a foreign language. That made me decide to go and take French in the US. So I really enjoyed that. And even on return to Malaysia, I continued studying French. So I am at least a little bit more conversant in French nowadays.
So, just for your information, I took Spanish. The Spanish kind of interesting language, so I can learn the foreign language except at least. So by the way, I just intend from Indonesia here, and I just intend. I went to United States. I want to learn something. I want to improve myself significantly, and I did. For example, such as yeah, learning Spanish because Spanish in my local community is nothing like kind of Spanish courses. So I just I just very interested to taking Spanish in United States. So I did. So Spanish was kind of yeah uno dos tres. You know, I mean it's very interesting.
Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, yeah.
at least
And
at least
yeah, on my
I
side, it was,
at least I know the basic. At least I know the basic, so I can continue whenever I want.
yeah. Yeah, I think getting again, same thing with anything in life. Once you get your first foot, like once you take your first step, it's always the scariest step, and after that, it gives you the confidence to keep going and keep putting in effort and keep working towards whatever goal it is. So yeah, I really enjoyed learning French. I'm sure you enjoy learning Spanish too.
Uh, talking about the subject, we're talking about the learning way. So, what is the difference between the learning way in the way of learning in Malaysia actually, and the way of learning in United States that you notice so far?
Oh, okay. Well, to be honest here a little bit, I think Malaysia, like where at least where I live, growing up studying Malaysia, a lot of emphasis is put on grades. Like everyone is pressured into, well, I wouldn't say pressured, I guess, but everyone is very strongly encouraged to pursue STEM subjects. I think that's great. I think hey, I'm gonna be a civil engineering student in like a week. I'm gonna start my course in a week, so that's STEM. But I think the approach in America was a little bit different. That I realized that the emphasis was on um, finding out what I like, where my passions
Yeah.
lied, and I think that's great because it gave me an opportunity to try out a bunch of different things, different subjects, and see which ones really interested me, and that helped me decide later on what I want to learn in life and what I want to learn as a career, what I want to pursue, and I think that was one of the biggest differences that I realized between at least the Malaysian system and just being in America.
So you can say that again. I totally agree 100% of you of your point. Uh, the most significant difference between the way of learning in Indonesia and the way of learning in United States that I noticed so far. When I was in United States, I just kind of learning about 7 subjects in one semester, but in Indonesia, even I went to boarding school, so the boarding school
Mhm.
required me to like more than 20 subjects a year. It's really crazy.
Wow. Yeah.
And I cannot to look at where I'm passionate about, where am and I think like I have to study all of it, and I have to study all of this, and will be useless in the kind of in the future. So I can't immersion myself where I'm passionate about. Where is my passion? So I don't know where my passion. So when I was in the United States, I can learn more about myself. I can self care about myself. I can careful about myself.
Definitely.
Furthermore, definitely. So have you tried about skiing? I saw your YouTube channel about skiing.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, I think it was episode 3 or something like that. We had the chance to go skiing, and um, yeah, I found it was so weird at the start. Just trying to get, it was like you're trying to walk, but your legs somehow can't stick to the
Oh,
floor,
yeah,
and
yeah.
I was like, what's going on right now? But yeah, I think it was fun, and it's one of those experiences that you get on exchange that when you look back, and it's a kind of experience that you don't get to experience all the time, especially for someone living on the equator. Yeah.
In the equator, in the
So
tropics.
um, yeah, yeah. So I just see it as one of those great uh, experiences that you can get while joining this program. One of many, and many memorable ones that you can take back for anyone who might be interested in joining this program.
I did a skiing, and it's gonna make my and it's made my foot sore. You know, after I did, and it's feel like I can't move my body like a day. It's crazy, it's crazy. But yeah, it's gonna experience. Unforgettable,
Definitely.
unforgettable, unforgettable.
Unforgettable. Absolutely unforgettable.
So, uh, in this for the last time, I wanted to say, have you the advice? Can you advise the next generation what they have to do and what they haven't what they want to do. You know what I mean? So it's kind of the advice.
Yeah. Regarding this program, right?
Yeah, just
I
for the
think I
advice.
think okay. Yeah. I think for students who are interested in joining the program and for future exchange students as well, um, I feel like there's in this modern world there's this like rush. Like everyone seems to be rushing. It's who can go into college first. It's
You're
who
saying,
can get the best
yeah,
results and then get a career, get your degree, get your master's first. And there's so at least in an Asian context, there seems to be so much emphasis on that we forget that the world is huge. The world there's so much to see in this world, and one huge part of life is being able to connect with people, to learn how to network, to learn how to communicate. So I'd say the biggest advice I can give to prospective exchange students and people who might be just interested, might come over this program and are interested, I think the best advice I could give is to put on the brakes, to take life a bit slower. Like don't be afraid to take on opportunities like this. Yes, you might spend a year, you might be a year behind your peers, you might be half a year behind the people who you are studying with at the moment. But I think in the end, programs like these are worth every single minute that you spend on them because they give you so much fulfillment after that. They improve your confidence. They give you valuable skills that you're able to utilize when you're back, and they just help you open your eyes to a larger world, and open your eyes to a world that you are part of. It gives you this sense of global citizenship. I think sometimes we always talk about having to contribute back to our communities, having to contribute back to the world. Well, it's hard to contribute back to the world when you haven't seen the world yet. Just to see that there's so much diversity in the world, there's so many cultural differences out there, and the fact that some problems that you face in your country, some challenges that you face are the same all over the world.
Oh
There are
yeah,
things, some countries, yeah,
global citizen.
like living in America, I thought everything was great. Yeah, I thought okay, I live in Penang, and Penang is like this super developed state. I live on the island. The island is super developed compared to like a lot of places in Malaysia, and around the world as well. So when I when I went to the US, I thought, hey, I'm gonna go there. Internet is gonna be amazing. Facilities are gonna be amazing. Infrastructure is gonna be amazing. And I was living in this rural area that was so different from where I lived back home in Malaysia. So it was then when I realized the vast differences that could exist all around the world, and there are problems, there are things that require solutions, infrastructure that has to be built, and barriers that have to be broken down all around the world. It's universal, and I guess, and then upon return to Penang, I don't take for granted the things I have right now. Instead, I feel like that's opened my mind up to wondering how I can how I can give back to the community. It's probably one of the reasons I chose to do civil engineering. Um, it's it, it's the fact that now I know there are
Yeah.
places around the world that initially I thought had everything set up, but the truth is it's not necessarily that way, and so there are always ways for us to contribute back. So I think going on an exchange program like this is amazing. It gives you so many opportunities to learn and to discover yourself for who you truly are. And isn't that what life's about? It's about the journey. It isn't about rushing to go get qualifications and whatnot.
Yeah, or sorry.
Hello, I think. Wait, hang on. The internet. I'm not able to hear you. Uh, oh no, I'm not able to hear you. Are you able to hear me? You can? Okay, I can't hear you, so I don't know what. I'm not sure what happened, but I can't hear you anymore. So, okay, if you have a question, maybe type it down. I'm not sure. This is odd. Some technical difficulties have occurred. Let me just try to disconnect my earphones and see if that works.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I just wanted to sum up my experience. What was the buzzworthy about the buzzword to dispel the myth behind? The buzzworthy of.
Hey,
So
yeah,
can
I
you
can
hear
hear
me
you.
now? Can you hear me now? Me now?
Okay, I'm not able to hear you. Okay, it's like it's glitching a little bit.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I guess so.
It's
It's a
connecting.
little bit laggy. Like I'm not sure why the audio is a bit slow or something.
Hello, 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 hi.
Hello. Yes.
Kevin?
Yeah, your
Kevin?
audio comes about like 1 second after your video, but I can hear you.
Hello, everyone. Ah, it's the connection problem. So, guys, yeah, just waiting for him. So, by the way, guys, I'm to the live with Kak Cida. Here she is, Kak Cida. So, what happened, guys? Guys, just for your information, I'm going to do live session, Instagram live session with Kak Jeda. There she is, and we'll talking about the myth behind 2021, 22, right? 21, 22 exchange application. So guys, tomorrow, and yeah, enjoy the live session.
Is it working now?
And
Hello.
I hope
Is the audio working now?
guys you very very interesting. Hi. Yeah,
Hello.
it's back. It's back.
Nice.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I'm able to hear you now.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I changed over to a different device.
Hello? Nice.
Yeah, the audio seems to have some
So
problems
can you hear
again.
me now?
Maybe. Uh, it's like quite delayed. Like, it takes about 5, 6 seconds for what you say, um, to pop out on my speakers.
Uh, should, should we continue about the last previous one?
Well, I think we could possibly end it there. Maybe we could wrap up over there.
Hi? Hi, Sean.
Hi. Yeah, I
Hi.
think we are facing technical difficulties, so I'd say maybe we might want to consider just wrapping things up.
Hi, Sean. Uh, so, just wanted to sum up. Just wanted to sum up that you guys, when I was doing my exchange year, you have to give a shot to, and just forget about the myth behind the exchange year, the myth worthy about exchange year. You have to give a shot, and I quickly realized when I was in United States, I hello,
Hi.
hello,
Yeah, the audio seems to
what
be cutting off, but I did catch your point
what
about
did
having
you
to
say,
throw
Sean?
away all the Yeah. I hear your point. I definitely agree with your point that we have to throw away all expectations. We go there with a clean slate, ready to learn, and that's how we get the best from this program. So yeah,
What did you?
if anyone out here is hoping to go on a program like this, I'd say give it a shot. You would be surprised at how much you learn, and you come back a different person.
So, uh, I quickly realized about the myth, the problem that I faced. I think when so I cannot when when I was from returning up early return from exchange year, I quickly realized that I cannot judging biasly. I cannot judging biasly about something problem. That I think that just gonna conceptualize like in my side it was 6, but in your side it was 9. So it's kind of concept. So that's the concept. So I cannot
judging by bias. It's gonna open my mind, open my eyes to look at the problem, to look at one problem fully, not just in my side.